WGN America is an American basic cable and satellite television channel that is owned by Tribune Broadcasting. The channel is one of several flagship properties owned by Chicagoland, Illinois-based corporate parent Tribune Media, which also owns the channel's former parent television station during its existence as a superstation, WGN-TV, regional cable news channel Chicagoland Television, and radio station WGN. As of July 2015, WGN America is available in approximately 72.987 million pay television households in the United States. Overview. WGN America carries a variety of programs consisting mainly of recent and classic off-network sitcoms, drama series and feature films, along with first-run original television series produced exclusively for the channel. Despite retaining the WGN name that it borrowed from its former parent station, since December 15, 2014, it no longer carries any local, syndicated, sports programming that airs in the Chicago market on WGN-TV. Conversely, WGN-TV does not carry WGN America's original series, outside of any special presentations of a programmed series premiere. Until December 31, 2015, WGN America broadcast on an Eastern Time schedule. As such, promos for WGN America programs reference air times for both the Eastern and Pacific time zones. WGN America launched a Pacific time zone feed on January 1, 2016, an addition made as part of Tribune Broadcasting's renewal of the channel's carriage agreement with it and AMP-T on October 26, 2015, which expanded its distribution by 5 million additional subscribers through the two pay television providers that carried the East Coast feed, initially at an AMP-T universe and DirecTV. Availability. WGN America is available in the United States on most cable providers, as well as on DirecTV, at an AMP-T universe and Verizon Fios. However, it continues not to be available on cable in portions of the western United States and much of the New England region of the northeastern United States. Moreover, some cable providers in select markets where Tribune Broadcasting owns a television station do not carry WGN America on analog or digital cable. In particular, the channel was not available in portions of the New York City metropolitan area until January 15, 2016, when Cablevision started carrying the network as part of an overall deal with Tribune Media that also included its purchase of Tribune's 2.8% ownership interest in Newsday Holdings. On the 12th of June 2016, the carriage contract between Dish Network and Tribune Broadcasting expired. At 1900 EDT, Dish Network ceased carriage of Tribune Broadcasting's television networks, including WGN America and Chicago's WGN-TV. Local station feeds, like those of WGN-TV, were replaced with a repeating recorded video message prepared by Dish Network. WGN America was replaced by a duplicate feed of TNT. In the Chicago metropolitan area, WGN America is not available over the air as a digital sub-channel of WGN-TV. The channel is available within the Chicago market via the area's three major cable providers, at an AMP-T universe and DirecTV, in addition to the WGN-TV broadcast signal. Prior to its conversion into a basic cable channel in December 2014, those living in the market could only receive WGN America on the latter two satellite providers. WGN America was previously carried in Canada on most cable and satellite providers. However, its distribution in that country was reduced significantly on January January 17, 2007, when Shaw Broadcast Services, the main supplier of WGN in Canada, replaced the superstation feed with the WGN-TV Chicago broadcast signal. The decision to switch to the Chicago area feed is believed to have been made in order to avoid paying fees that are required to carry the then WGN superstation feed. Although satellite provider Star Choice and most Canadian cable systems that had been carrying WGN America began receiving WGN-TV Chicago from that point forward, select cable providers continued to carry the WGN national feed in lieu of, or as was the case with providers such as MTS-TV and Cogeco Cable, in tandem with WGN-TV Chicago, resulting in the duplication of CW network and many syndicated programs that are available within the country on other broadcast and specialty channels. While the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission had approved the Chicago station's broadcast signal and its national cable feed for carriage on any domestic multi-channel video programming distributor, the conversion of WGN America from a superstation into a conventional cable channel and its resulting programming separation from WGN-TV led Tribune Broadcasting to announce on December 15, 2014 that it would terminate all Canadian distribution rights for WGN America, effective January 1, 2015, likely due to genre protection rules then enforced by the CRTC that prohibited domestic or foreign cable channels from maintaining a general entertainment programming format. However, most cable and satellite providers across Canada, including some that lost access to WGN America, continue to receive WGN-TV, as the station is still authorized for domestic distribution as a superstation. History. As a superstation, WGN-TV goes national. In October 1978, United Video Satellite Group uplinked the signal of Chicago independent station WGN-TV to the Satcom3 satellite for distribution to cable and satellite subscribers throughout the United States. For about 11 years afterward, the national WGN-TV signal carried the same programming schedule as that seen in the Chicago area. The national feed also used the same on-air branding as the Chicago area signal until 1997, when it became known as simply WGN outside of Chicago. After United Video launched Preview Guide in the late 1980s, it utilized WGN's audio subcarrier channel, which was unheard by viewers, to transmit programming schedules in a 2,400 bit per second data stream to local cable providers. On May 18, 1988, the Federal Communications Commission passed the syndication exclusivity rules into law. The regulations required cable providers to black out syndicated programs shown on any out-of-market television stations that the provider carried. When a station within a television market obtains the exclusive rights to broadcast the particular program, in response, a separate national feed of WGN-TV was launched on January 1, 1992 to avoid any potential blackouts, save for some sports programming. By the early 1990s, WGN began to increase its national coverage when many cable systems began to swap out WWOR and its New York City area rival WPIX for the WGN superstation feed. Its distribution expanded further as it gradually gained carriage on direct broadcast satellite via DirecTV, Dish Network and Primestar during that decade. On December 3, 1993, Tribune Broadcasting signed an affiliation agreement with WGN-TV Chicago to become a charter affiliate of the WB television network, a joint venture between the Warner Bros. Brothers television unit of Time Warner, the Tribune Company and original network president Jamie Kellner. This made the station an affiliate of a broadcast network for the first time since the August 1956 shutdown of the Dumont television network in 1953. Through the agreement and Tribune's ownership interest in the WB, which resulted in most of the company's independent stations becoming charter affiliates of the network, the WB allowed the WGN superstation feed to nationally distribute its primetime programming. In order to make the network available to areas of the United States that did not initially have a local affiliate, the WB was the second network to make its programming available directly to paid television providers to designated white areas without broadcast affiliate clearances. Fox had earlier launched FoxNet, a cable channel created specifically for the same impetus behind the WGN-WB agreement, which operated from June 1991 to September 2006. The superstation feed became a de facto national WB affiliate upon the network's January 11, 1995 launch, giving the WB an early advantage over the United Paramount Network, which declined to allow WWOR to carry its programming to areas without an affiliate. While the WB's programming was initially split between two stations in the Chicago market, WGN-TV and WCIU-TV, the WB's entire programming schedule was carried by the WGN superstation feed. In addition, as the WB only carried programming on Sundays when it launched and would not expand its prime-time schedule to 6 nights a week until September 1999, the superstation feed, as with most over-the-air WB affiliates during the network's early years, filled the 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time slot on nights without WB network programming, with either sports telecasts from WGN-TV that were cleared for national broadcast or movies. In December 1996, not long after WGN-TV temporarily lost rights to broadcast Chicago Bulls basketball games due to a lawsuit between the station and the National Basketball Association, the WGN superstation feed was dropped from cable systems operated by Telecommunications, Inc. in several U.S. cities outside of the Chicago area. The move was partly made in order to make room for additional cable networks due to limited space. TCI's removal of WGN had a minor complication for the WB, as even though the network had been slowly adding stations to its roster at the time, it still did not have local affiliates in many medium-sized and smaller markets. Outcry from some TCI subscribers over the decision to drop WGN resulted in the cable provider later backing off plans to drop the superstation feed in 5 Midwestern states. In 1997, TCI and Tribune had discussed a proposal to sell a 50% ownership stake in the WGN superstation feed to TCI and convert it into a basic cable channel. This ultimately did not go forward. On October 7, 1999, WGN stopped carrying the WB's programming on its superstation feed at the network's request, on mutual grounds between Time Warner and Tribune that the WB had increased its national broadcast coverage to the point that discontinuing the network's carriage on the superstation feed was deemed necessary. Kids WB programming on weekday mornings and afternoons and on Saturday mornings was replaced with syndicated series, while feature films replaced the WB's primetime programs, resulting in the superstation's schedule more so resembling an independent station than a general entertainment cable network due to the presence of local programming from WGN-TV. The removal of WB programming from the superstation feed reduced the WB's potential household audience by 10 million homes, and was cited as the reason behind the network's ratings declines during the 1999-2000 television season, as the network lost an estimated 19% of its household audience through the decision, for similar reasons to those that necessitated the decision to remove WB programming from the channel. WGN America also did not carry any programming from the CW when WGN-TV became its charter affiliate for the Chicago market at that network's launch in September 2006. Due to the fact that the CW is widely available throughout the United States via over-the-air broadcast stations and affiliations with digital sub-channels and local cable outlets when that network launched in September 2006. In September 2001, the Superstation feed was rebranded as WGN Superstation, before undergoing another name change as Superstation WGN in November 2002, coinciding with the introduction of WGN-TV. Chicago's current logo changed to WGN America on May 24, 2008. Superstation WGN changed its name to WGN America. The new WGN America name and logo went into full-time use on May 26, 2008. The new logo was also the first used by the Superstation feed not to incorporate WGN-TV's on-air logo branding in some capacity, and its design featured the eyes of a female, which was used alongside the new slogan, "TV You Can't Ignore." The channel would soon begin to slowly revamp its programming lineup, starting with the introduction of the weekly classic sitcom block, Out to Sight Retro Night. The block featured series such as WKRP in Cincinnati, Newhart, Alf, Barney Miller and The Honeymooners. Some of these programs had previously aired on WGN prior to implementation of the syntax rules, or even after the rules went into effect on the Chicago signal only, and in some cases, the Superstation feed as well. A few shows were dropped from the channel, such as former WGN staples U.S. Farm Report and Soul Train, primarily due to the dissolution of Tribune's television production and distribution unit. In late July 2008, the network's logo bug was revised, with the eyes element of the logo being morphed into the WGN America text. The eyes element remained a part of the general logo in all other uses until January 2009, when it was de-emphasized in favor of using the channel's wordmark text as the primary logo. In the fall of 2008, then Tribune Chairman, CEO Sam Zell and co-CEO Randy Michaels stated to the media during a nationwide tour promoting the Tribune properties that the company was interested in producing a late-night talk show hosted by comedian Jay Leno, following the end of his initial run as host of NBC's The Tonight Show that year, by launching it on Tribune's television stations and using WGN America to broadcast the show nationally. However, in December 2008, NBC agreed to a deal to let Leno host a weeknight primetime talk show at 10:00 p.m. Eastern Time, called The Jay Leno Show. In April 2009, WGN America underwent another rebrand, with a new retro-styled logo, a new 5-note sounder, new graphics, a new slogan, and the introduction of some original programming. The changes were made in order to increase its cable carriage outside the channel's traditional coverage area and position itself as a general entertainment network that programs to the entire nation, not just Chicago and the Midwest. conversion to basic cable, with ownership and management changes occurring at the Tribune Company as it exited protracted Chapter 11 bankruptcy reorganization proceedings. In December 2012, Tribune announced plans to convert WGN America from a superstation into a conventional cable network, similar to TBS's transition to a basic cable channel in the 1990s. Ironically, it was the national TBS cable channel's separation from its parent Atlanta station WTBS in October 2007 that resulted in WGN America becoming the last remaining national superstation in the U.S. to be distributed through both cable and satellite television. WGN America was also one of 4 superstations that were owned by Tribune, alongside CW affiliates KTLA, Los Angeles, WGN-TV, Denver and WPIX, New York City, the latter 3 of which were available on cable in the respective regions of the United States, and on Dish Network nationally for those who subscribed to the provider's a la carte superstations tier prior to its decision to halt its sale to new subscribers in September 2013. KTLA and WPIX are also available on Canadian cable and satellite providers via authorization by the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission as WGN-TV is and remains to this day due to providers in the country having previously substituted the national channel with the WGN-TV Chicago signal. Plans called for WGN America to incorporate scripted original programming, to migrate from limited basic programming tiers to the expanded basic tiers of cable providers, and to adopt a retransmission consent model in future carriage agreements in which Tribune would receive revenue for the network's carriage. Matt Chernis was appointed as the first president and general manager of WGN America and Tribune Studios, a newly formed production unit that would produce some of the network's original content. On March 19, 2013, the network's logo was overhauled again in January 2014, in advance of the launch of its first original scripted programs, to a simpler and neutral variant removing the flourishes of the Zell Michaels era of Tribune ownership, and focusing more on the WGN call letters for branding. The new imaging was unveiled on December 19, 2013, as part of a promotional trailer for its first scripted drama series, Salem. Salem at WGN America saw a major promotional push which began with Fox's broadcast of Super Bowl 48 on February 2, where local advertising time on Tribune Broadcasting's 15 Fox affiliates was used to air an extended promotional ad for Salem, followed by further promotion on Tribune's other local television stations in the lead-up to the show's April 20 premiere. In a May 2014 symposium at the Moffett-Nathanson Media and AMP Communications Summit, Tribune Company President and CEO Peter Liguori stated that with its new programming strategy, about 50% of U.S. cable providers would begin offering WGN America as a conventional cable channel by the end of 2014, with all cable providers offering it as a basic cable service by around 2016. Most notably, on December 15, 2014, Tribune reached a carriage agreement with Comcast Xfinity that saw WGN America move from limited to expanded basic tiers on its systems in 4 markets the following day on December 16, while also making it available on cable in the Chicago market for the first time on the provider's systems in that area.